Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this another edition of a 6 p.m. Prime News on Campus Television. We begin right away with our major stories. 11th of February has been observed throughout the national territory this day and is said to be more important than just a Youth Day celebration. More of the origin of this 11th of February date in some minutes into the news. And out of the country, the president of South Africa, Ramaphosa, has doubled efforts to fight against corruption and promised tough time to embezzlers. Details in the minutes to the news. Once more, thanks for joining us. Youth over the national territory have celebrated the 56th edition of the 11th February National Youth Day. Youth in Yaoundé 1, 2, and 3 subdivisions gathered at the Yaoundé 20 May Marchpast Avenue. At this ceremony was the Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, Mononat Photo, with some other top government officials. Peace and unity was the main message of this youth this day. Geraldine Nassé tells us more.
Schools drawn from the Yaoundé 1, 2, and 3 subdivisions have gathered this Friday, February 11, 2022 at the Yaoundé Grandstand to celebrate the National Youth Day. After 2 years of inactive Youth Day celebration due to the ravishing COVID-19 pandemic, the children came out in their numbers with a lot of enthusiasm and energy during the traditional marching parade, an event typical of the Youth Day.
Regarding the march past of the day, I would say the march past of the day only demonstrated one thing, that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but that tomorrow starts today. So when you look at the way the youth demonstrated today, with a lot of energy, a lot of strength, a lot of enthusiasm, I think it's very awesome.
It is an exciting and exceptional day for youth throughout the national territory, though some people doubt if other areas of the country are in the same spirit of celebration.
The only sad thing is from in our different regions, we don't know if the march past went with the same energy and with the same enthusiasm. So our plea is that the government should keep on doing efforts. So total peace should come in our different regions. So the youth from Yaoundé will enjoy the same things. So the youth from Bamenda or the youth from Southwest will enjoy the same energy, the same enthusiasm, and the same pleasure like the youth from Yaoundé, Douala, and the different regions.
Nevertheless, many hope that these areas that do not have the privilege to celebrate this year's Youth Day will have the opportunity next year while putting in practice the advice of the President, such as being patriotic, respecting public property, preserving custom and traditions, and respecting the elderly for a bright future and that of the nation.
The President of the Republic, President Paul Biya, has renewed his commitment with the youth to put hands together and work for the emergence of the nation. He said this during his traditional address to the youth yesterday, 10th of February 2022. Bertrand Tita, a reporter, took keen interest in his address to the youth and put together these highlights. Let's listen.
The head of state's address to the youths came just few days after the 33rd edition of the Africa Cup of Nations that took place in Cameroon in the flamboyant manner. His Excellency Paul Biya opened his address by expressing his satisfaction with the mobilization of the youths in particular towards the success of the football festival, which will take years to disappear in the mind of those who attend it. He regretted the death of football fans during the stampede at Olembe and wished quick recovery to the injured. President Paul Biya equally congratulated the indomitable Lions of Cameroon for their brilliant performance during the AFCON, saying though they failed to lift the trophy of the tournament, they should prepare hard for upcoming competitions in months ahead.
The lingering global economic crisis, compounded by the adverse effects of the coronavirus pandemic that has spared no country, your problems and aspirations feature among the major priorities of the current 7 years. Thanks to the proper management of our economy, we continued to implement the 3-year special youth plan, which enabled the financing of 8,430 projects, 119 economic clusters, and 132 second-generation pioneer villages, as well as the creation of close to 22,000 direct jobs.
The head of state said 50,000 youth biometric cards to facilitate access to basic social projects and services have equally been set up. For the youths in the diaspora, the head of state said an incentive for their entrepreneurial initiative through the support program for the return and integration of diasporan youths. President Paul Biya reiterated that the country needs all the youths, including those in the diaspora, who wish to participate in the national and republican drive for our country's emergence. He pledged the country's support for projects, initiatives, and launched to enable diasporan youth to participate in the development of Cameroon. He added that substantial efforts are made yearly to create jobs for the youths and enable them to join the labor market. 600,000 jobs are expected to be created annually with the improvement of local and administrative authorities. He pledged the government's plans to mobilize special bilateral and multilateral fundings to support the establishment of a guarantee fund for young entrepreneurs. He called on the youth to take advantage of opportunities of digital communication, and the need for a responsible use of social media platforms was equally reiterated. President Paul Biya exhorted the youth to preserve peace, national unity and stability, and give a deaf ear to issues of destabilization and antagonism. Moreover, he challenged the youth to gain consciousness on the role they have to play to promote the image of the country. He concluded his traditional address to the youth by assuring the youth that he has them in heart and that the government will always provide solutions to their worries.
That of the entire nation depends on you.
As youth throughout the national territory gathered into corners to commemorate the 11th of February 2022, our reporter Bertrand Tita says it's not only about celebrating the Youth Day and takes us into memory of the origin of this 11th of February. Let's listen to him in this report.
Lack of political consensus between British Cameroonian politicians, failure of the Manfé plebiscite of 1959 where Southern Cameroonians voted to decide their political future on a later date, deadlock in the Southern Cameroon House of Assembly, unwillingness of Britain to continue her trusteeship over the portion of Cameroon, the respect of the principle of self-determination contributed to the holding of the 11th of February 1961 plebiscite in both British Southern and Northern Cameroon. Do you wish to achieve independence by joining the Independent Federation of Nigeria? Or do you wish to achieve independence by joining La République du Cameroun, where the plebiscite questions framed and supervised by the United Nations Organization? Some political parties like the CCC of Ashivo Nyenti and Fon Achirimbi of Bafut advocated for a third option to gain independence as an independent entity, but it all failed on deaf ears. In Southern Cameroon, political parties went into an alliance, and the KNDP/OK alliance under the leadership of John Gu Foncha voted overwhelmingly to join their brothers of La République du Cameroun. Southern Cameroon therefore became West Cameroon on October 1, 1961, under the Federal Republic of Cameroon adopted in the Fumban Constitutional Conference. In British Northern Cameroon, the people under the leadership of Malam Abab Abib voted and became part of Nigeria on June 1st, 1961, and today it remains as part of Nigeria. In order to give credence to the date 11th of February, the then President of the Federal Republic of Cameroon, Amadou Ahidjo, in 1966 declared 11th of February, that was initially celebrated in West Cameroon at the time as Empire Day, to be the Youth Day. Today, youth over the national territory exhibited their civic responsibilities by celebrating the 56th edition of the National Youth Day after staying out of the usual activities for 2 years due to the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic.
The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development has this 11th of February installed new members of the Benue Basic Organ. During the installation ceremony, the minister called on the newly installed members to work hand in hand for the progress of the country. Ruth Fonyong in this report.
Members of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPDM, OFRDPC and OJRDP of the Benue Division were officially installed this February 10th by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Gabriel Mbairobe, to the central basic organs of the party. The newly installed board was advised by the minister to work in unity because a unity births victory.
Just install, the board of our basic organs, and we are proud to see that those who have been elected very freely, and we urge them to go on the field and to gather all their comrades so that our party will be a party of progress, a party of victory, and a party of prosperity. That is what the head of state, the national president of the CPDM, urged us to do on the field.
The newly installed are therefore ready to put in effort to sensitize the youth of Cameroon in general and those of the North region in particular to work hard towards progress.
For this occasion, so we are devoted to do more effort in terms of sensitization of youth of the CPDM party in the North region in general and in subdivision Benue in particular. So we are very happy and we are engaged to continue to work together, to work more harder.
It was an opportunity for the minister, head of Central Permanent Divisional Delegation of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, to give some recommendations to the newly installed, full of energy and vigor to lift the colors of the nation high.
We now take you out of the country where President Embalo of Guinea-Bissau has pointed out 3 suspects in the failed coup. And in South Africa, the president has promised help to all those involved in corruption. This and more with Ruth Fonyo.
Guinea-Bissau President Umaro Sissoco Embalo accused on Thursday a former head of the National Navy and 2 other men arrested in the past by the U.S. Anti-Drug Agency of being behind what he described as the abortive February 1 coup attempt. He presented the February 1st coup as directly linked to drug trafficking. 10 days ago, Guinea-Bissau was the scene of yet another coup in its troubled history since independence from Portugal in 1974. The government palace, which is the seat of ministries, was attacked that day by armed men while the president and members of the government were holding a council of ministers. The president emerged unharmed after hours of gunfire that left 11 people dead, according to the government. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa delivered a State of the Nation address on Thursday promising decisive actions to stem corruption as he faces demands for a plan to reverse widening disillusionment with his government. State corruption, a flagging economy, staggering unemployment, rampant crime, and last year's riot topped a long list of wars facing the former union activist turned tycoon. The massive corruption and anachronism under Zuma, which South Africans call state capture, has been laid out in a series of investigative reports since January. After a year-long investigation, Constitutional Court Judge Raymond Zondo has released more than 1,400 pages of findings, with more still to come. Libya found itself with two prime ministers Thursday after its parliament voted a rival to replace the existing unity government's chief Abdul Hamid Beiba. Libya's eastern-based parliament named a new prime minister on Thursday. The House of Representatives said its decision followed PM Abdul Hamid Beiba's failure to hold presidential election in December. Libya now has two prime ministers, which deepens divisions between eastern and western administration. In a Tripoli souk, some don't welcome the move. Observers fear Thursday's vote could repeat a 2014 schism which saw two parallel governments emerge. The 2014 crisis had seen a UN-backed unity government face off against the parliament, which is backed by Eastern military chief Khalifa Haftar, another candidate in the elections set for December. The crisis is not over yet in a country that has seen a decade of conflict.
That a report out of the country brings us to the end of our 6 p.m. Prime News on Camdis Television. A recap of our major stories. 11th of February has been observed throughout the national territory this day and said to be more important than just a Youth Day celebration. And out of the country, President of South Africa, Ramaphosa, has doubled efforts to fight against corruption and promised tough time to embezzlers. Thank you, dear viewers. Hoping that you take another rendezvous at exactly 8 p.m. with Shanta Yao in the French language. Have a blessed evening.